Men raised as defective women. What the hell does that even mean? If you've been following me on Twitter, and I don't know why you're on Twitter, but thank you very much for the follows, or on here, you hear me refer to this often. Live streams with Rolo Zero, all that stuff. Men raised as defective women. What the hell do I mean by men being raised as defective women? And there's all kinds of takes. You can take it. It's not meant to be a statement of truth. That's not the point of it. In fact, none of the red pill is meant to be taken as a statement of truth. Everybody's like, that's why they call it ideology. It's like a statement of value. I'm like, it's not a statement of value either. Ideology is about what ideal world do you want to live in, and then to adapt all your actions to adhere to it. Philosophy, that's just too much thinking. Navel gazing, and that's absolutely not a red pill thing at all. It's praxeology. And for those who don't know, praxeology is a loose science based on action. Easy way to describe it. If you were talking about like architects as an ideology, praxeology is construction work. Praxeology is auto mechanics. Auto mechanics, sitting in a room, hanging out. Hey, how'd you fix your car? Well, the pistons were a little loose, so I had to tighten this on here, change the spark plug to something with less spark. They wear out over this much. Help you build your engine. And the guy's like, oh, that's cool. I'm building a tractor right now, and it's kind of helpful because they have a similar engine. Well, yours is a diesel engine, so you don't need spark plugs. You see what I mean? Everybody just swaps notes about what works to solve a specific problem. And while one guy may be working on his Ford Focus, another guy may be working on a diesel engine for his tractor, another guy may be working on a gasoline-powered supercar, but all the underlying, like the physics doesn't change throughout all of them. What changes is how it's implemented. And so the guy building a supercar can learn something from the tractor guy can learn something from the Ford Focus guy. The Ford Focus guy is teaching something to the supercar guy. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's there. And then that's the point. But you got to use your head, right? And that's why it's not an ideology. Ideologies don't need you to think. Ideologies need you to commit. Philosophies need you to think, but they don't need you to act. Praxeology needs you to think and to act. Another way to frame it is if you're thinking about it as a science, science is, at least now, science trademark. Science! It's high rigor, low replication. And this is a problem I'll have with anybody who starts talking about scientific studies. In the social sciences, and increasingly in even the hard sciences outside of mathematics, they're finding that about 40 to 60% of all studies coming out right now cannot be replicated. That means the study is a complete waste of time and a lie. Now, we could say it's because of an error in methodology. We can say it's because of falsified data. We can say it's because of p-hacking. If you guys don't know, the p-value is, there's actually a formula used to figure out what are the odds that the experiment you did happened by pure chance and happened to align with what you were looking at versus it's definitely something that happened. And the idea is just an arbitrary number they pulled out, the p-value of 0.05. I think it is like 5% chance. Or no, 0.2? Well, whatever. Anyways, it's like 5% chance that what happened was random chance as opposed to the thing you were studying. And you can fudge numbers to make that look whatever way you want to. Now, not everybody does it, but some do. So when you talk about research papers, what you're doing is you're saying, trust the science, of which the science itself has suggested in its own meta-studies that about half of us are fucking wrong. It's fine. Over time, this stuff will sort itself out. Doesn't help us today. So why do you use studies in yours? Well, because studies show what I'm trying to get across, and people like appeals to authority. The replication part, though, is the key. So you read a study that says anything. I don't know. You read a study that says chocolate is good for losing weight. There actually was one. That was a fake study, but you get the point. And this is how the getting raised as defective women thing comes in. The way you know it works is like, okay, so let's see the study. What's generally the findings? It says, eat chocolate, you lose weight. So let's try it at home. You go home, you have a chocolate diet. You gain weight. You're like, okay, replicated it, does not work. You get another study showing that women are attracted to dark triad traits. That's narcissism, psychopathy, and... Why am I drawing a blank on the third one here? Narcissism, psychopathy... Oh, Machiavellian. Cunning, crazy, and egotistical. Girls find that stuff attractive. So, like, all right, let's go try that one. So you go and you act like an asshole. And then you find out, holy crap, girls like me. In fact, Rob, I may have to make you a mod here because I want you have an essay on this, or I can't remember if it's an essay yet. But he was talking about this. One of the girls he was dating was, it was just a girl, and he didn't really like her, and he didn't really want to like her, and so he treated her like shit. And that wasn't the crazy part, because whatever. Oh, don't ever treat women badly. It's like, whatever. Here's the thing. She loved it. She was having fun with him. She thinks it's great. This is great. And Rob's sitting there. It's like, I don't get it, man. I treat her like absolute garbage. She keeps coming back for more. I have the same story myself. I used to have a girl I was dating. Called her the dog walker. Like, that's how dehumanizing I acted. I didn't even give her the privilege of a surname. I don't like the name they gave you. I'm going to give my name, which describes the hobby you have. The dog walker. I can't even remember what her real name is right now, but that's the point. And she was just like, the worse I acted, the better she was. Until the one day where I kind of broke character. I'm like, why do you let me treat you like this? And she's just kind of like, I don't know. And then it kind of fizzled off after that, so it serves you right. And then this was my question to Rob. Is it bad behavior if the only person who thinks it's bad behavior is you? Makes you wonder then. So is the problem that men are behaving worse? Or is the problem that men are being incentivized to behave in a certain way and we believe it's worse because we've been basically lied to? Something to think about. And so when I talk about men being raised as defective women, that's kind of what I mean. Like, we're raised to think a certain way about people. And whether it's because your mom got divorced young, because your dad had to work 16-hour days and he was never home, maybe there's no teachers in your elementary school because everybody is so worried about pedos everywhere that guys have basically been edged out of anything dealing with people younger than 18 years old, and guys are like, I don't want anywhere near that shit. Yeah. After all that, all you're getting is feminine influence. Girls are training you. Girls are teaching you. Girls are basically the reason you're growing up. And I'm not saying it's wholly bad, but it's only half the picture. You're basically raised by a single demographic as opposed to all demographics. Takes a village to raise a child. Well, if the village gets divorced, then whatever.